Welcome back to Rich Words Music. It's 42 Gear Street 6, and I'm in Studio B with Leigh Fuge.
Hello again.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining this video.
My pleasure.
Yeah, well, this is a continuation on a theme.
Yes,
that we began a couple of Gear Streets ago. Yeah, we set out at this event, which is attended by many great brands. We set out together to find an affordable rig.
First time we massively failed. We set ourselves like a £1,000 budget?
Yeah. And
we used an amp that was $3,500. So we failed before we even got started the first time. I think we got pretty close second time. I think we did hit like around about the mark.
Yeah, the last time we were very good. We were under our budget, I think. And this time, 2024, I think we've done another pretty darn decent job.
Yes.
Because we've got a selection of stuff for you here, which is very well priced indeed. What are we saying in terms of price cap for all of this stuff?
I think probably like about 1,500 is probably a ballpark here.
Yeah,
what we built.
Yeah, we can't say 1,000 really, but then again, you know, inflation and all that. Since the last video, 1,500, 1,000 last time.
Yeah,
it's kind of the same.
I mean, there's probably a few variables that we could switch out to bring the price down, like maybe like a smaller cab.
Yeah.
But we've also gone with what's available at the event as well. So that kind of limited what we had access to. So we had to bump the budget up a little bit to compensate for availability of items.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
But we do have an alternative.
We have a few alternatives. But the guitar that we settled for at the affordable end of the price spectrum is this.
Ibanez AZES31, which is their triple single coil entry to the market. Lovely finish, like a sort of a glittery blue finish, 3 single coils and an amazing looking bird's eye maple neck, which has absolutely no business being on a guitar of this price.
No, exactly.
Absolutely no business.
No.
That's like a £1,500 neck.
That's a custom shop neck.
Someone at Ibanez is losing their job.
Yeah, exactly.
This bit of wood.
But this is sub 300 euros or pounds,
Yeah.
this guitar. So this is very much people would call it an entry-level guitar, but we've used this specific model of guitar before in many videos, and I've played one quite a lot, and they are really, really decent guitars, you know, regardless of the price.
Absolutely.
So that's what we went for there. Now, when we move across to my left here, we have our amplifier of choice. We can get a close-up of it. This is the Laney Lionheart Loudpedal, and this was designed in conjunction with Tom Quayle, the guitar player who we all know and love. There are 2 of these loud pedals actually, and the other was designed with Martin Miller.
Yes.
Another guitarist we all know and love. Now the Tom Quayle one, I've been told by the fine folks at Laney, is more of a classically voiced sort of a one. You can get a bit more raucous with the Martin Miller one. But this is going to set you back in the UK about £400.
Yeah, that's
in Europe about $499. So very much an affordable thing. 60 watts. You've got 2 different channels here, a shared EQ, but you've got a boost that you can switch in and out, and you've got a reverb at all times. It's a really nice digital spring reverb from their reverb pedal, the name of which escapes me momentarily, but they make a great reverb pedal, and it's the program from that. Now, we're going to be running that into a cabinet for today's video, aren't we?
Yep, we are indeed, which is one of those Palmer cabinets.
Yep, this is the Palmer 2x12 with greenbacks in it.
Right, nice. I didn't know what speakers were in there. That's cool.
Yep.
I like greenbacks.
There's 3 in the range. You can get vintage 30s, greenbacks, or creambacks.
Nice.
Take your pick. This is going to set you back about 500 of your local currency.
Okay, so that's a pretty good amp rig there for, like, if you thought of that as like your ballpark figure for an amp, 1,000. You've got a great 2-channel amp with a boost and reverb, cabinet with really good speakers. Not bad for under £1,000. But also, we're running the Lionheart into the cabinet in a traditional amp head sense, but on the back of that unit, you can also run out of an XLR output, which would feed a front of house with cab sims. I think there's 2 built-in IRs when you buy it, but the guys at Laney said you can add more. There's a USB-C thing on the back, and you can switch the IRs out for
exactly.
2 different ones.
Yeah, there's an app as well, and I can't show this with the camera, but I will take a screenshot and show you the top panel of this one. Yeah. You've got the USB-C, you've got a headphone out as well, so you can practice and play silently at all times. You've got an aux in too, so presumably you can pipe your backing tracks through it as well. And you've got the XLR, the DI out, and again, 2 IRs built into it, or you can switch off the IRs and you can go into the app and change the IRs. So you wouldn't even need a cabinet, is what we're saying basically, and that would reduce our budget down to below that mythical £1,000.
Yeah. Also on the side, you've got an effects loop as well.
Yeah. ground lift switch on this as well. MIDI in, MIDI through.
Oh, I didn't know I had MIDI. That's
MIDI
cool.
as well.
Okay.
Effects loop as well. It's a pretty feature-packed
It's
box,
not bad for
all in all.
£400, is it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the key thing that we're going to find out now is actually how this rig sounds before we get into the pedals that we've attached to this board as well.
Yes. Yeah, so that as a price ballpark, if you sort of said like 500 for the cab, 400-ish for the Lionheart, 300 for the guitar, we're sort of at 1200. So if we've got 1500 as a benchmark, we've got some pedals we can play with as well.
Yeah. You know what, then let's talk about the pedals first, because we've done that. We've got a Sweetwater Supply board in front of us.
Yes, thank you, Sweetwater.
Yeah, and there are a number of pedals on it, which you may or may not want to use in an affordable rig like this. But at the front here, we've got a tuner. We can't put the tuner in the budget, right? It doesn't need to be in the budget.
You need a tuner, don't you?
But clip-on headstock one.
Yeah, everyone needs a tuner.
But anyway, whatever. The Electro Harmonics Lizard King, which is a follow-up to their Lizard Queen from last year. Yeah. And this is actually a bass specialized pedal, but it works fantastically on guitar as well. Yeah. But because of that, you've got a blend knob.
Makes sense.
As opposed to a fuzz knob. Like the level of fuzz is always fixed on that pedal. Then we've got the JHS Hard Drive, which is JHS's brand new high gain overdrive distortion pedal.
Sounds great.
I'll set you back about $230 or $200, I believe. So it's kind of a boutique-y overdrive. The Lizard King's about 100. And then we've got two more crazy pedals, the Source Audio Artifact and the Death by Audio Earthquaker Devices Time Shadows. This is a delay. The Artifact is a lo-fi pedal. Yeah. And these are very much special case pedals, particularly the Artifact. So we're not going to use those in today's rig. But let's say you add the Lizard King to it, you're still comfortably under 1500.
Yeah, or buy something like a Ibanez Tube Screamer.
You could absolutely do that as well.
Classic. I think these are like under £100, I think, in the UK.
Yeah, 70 or 80 or something like that. With the pedals, so you've started out, you've got your core rig, and you tweak to taste with the rest of the boxes.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing with what we've done here is we've built an entire rig that is functional, 2 channels, reverb, cab, guitar. We've built all that for 1200. Yeah. So all this other stuff is just a nice addition. Yeah, so you've got £300 there to play with, obviously to buy a bunch of pedals or whatever. The cab's mic'd with a Sennheiser 412 as well, 421.
It is indeed.
Cool. So where do you want to start? Cleans?
Some clean tones, yeah. I'm going to kind of hop behind the cab there and just kind of tweak some of the knobs as well while we play, I guess. Okay. But give us a bass clean first. We've got a bit of reverb too.
That's really nice out of the box there.
The 3 EQ knobs are all at 12 o'clock on that.
Wow.
Everything at noon, and there's a tone knob, like a master tone here, which is on +1.
Okay. Well, that just sounds nice straight away.
That's everything at 12, basically, yeah.
Was that the boost?
I just added the boost in for a second. Yeah,
quite a lot of boost there.
That's the red knob up here. That was the boost on 4 out of 10.
Wow.
So there's going to be a lot of boost on tap.
Okay.
And I guess it's going to be doing slightly different things depending on where you are on the channel settings.
Yeah. That's cool, because what you could do is if you didn't want to use that as a lead boost, you could kind of use it as like an additional gain stage. Exactly. So if you would set the boost to like 1 and then turn it on, it's just going to give you like a pushed clean.
Yeah, let's try that.
Yes, it just gives it that little lift.
That's really nice. I really like that spring reverb as well, by the way.
That's a great reverb, isn't it?
Yeah, the reverb's on 3 out of 10 right now.
Turn it all the way up?
Yeah, let's see if it drips. It's not like a massively drippy reverb, but it sounds like springs, and it's really nice. It's quite big at 10, but it's never going to be kind of in the way. Sort of thing. It's not something for atmospheric or ambient reverbs.
Nice reverb.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. So I'm going to set it back to 3. So that was the clean channel. That's pretty much anything.
Really good first impression there, I like that.
And we'll flick it across to the second channel, which is going to be the gainier one. Again, shared EQ here, so everything is still at 12 o'clock with the little tone knob up to 1.
Let's do it. Nice.
That sounds really nice, yeah. And again, we still haven't done anything, which is practical because if you did want to radically change the EQ on this channel, but have it all at 12 on the clean channel, you couldn't do that.
Yeah, that's really cool. But what's really interesting about that is with the drive, and I'm hoping that translates like through the video, but in the room with the cabinet, I know it is an amp because it's a pedal-sized amp.
Yeah.
But it sounds like an amp. Do you know what I mean? It sounds like an amp head or like a kind of a cranked tube amp. Like when you play with the drive sound, it's got that kind of aggressive mid-range that a good tube amp has.
Yeah.
Which is great. In the room, that sounds fantastic.
It really works. And you know what? It sounds really, really fat with those single coils as well. I really like it.
They're exceptional single coils, aren't they?
We got the boost, by the way, at 2 o'clock. We haven't engaged it yet with the gain. Let's try that. There's a lot of gain on tap. I've been edging the volume down because we can't go over a certain level in here. But like, wow.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, with that being 60 watts, you could easily compete with a drummer, especially through a 2x12 cab.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever. It's a really fat, massive sort of a sound. I really, really like it. It would be really interesting to hear how those IRs compete, but obviously that's for another day, another video. But
what I like about products like this as well is like for touring, especially like if you play your own music. A lot of the time you show up at venues and there's, you have to use like the house backline or whatever. This is really cool if you are someone in that situation because you can just show up at a gig anywhere.
Yeah.
And if there's a cab on stage, you just plug into the cab. And minus the tone the speaker gives you, you'll get 90% of your sound anywhere you go as long as you've got this thing.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Yeah. Let's just swap very quickly because we're almost out of time. I'll have a little swaz on it while you twist the knobs.
Do you want to swap seats as well?
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea, isn't it?
I didn't realise that you had arms that would have been capable of tweaking the amp from there. Oh, this seat's weird.
Yeah, that one's a lower seat.
Let's start with the clean.
Cool.
Okay. Can you turn the reverb off for that one?
Off?
Just to test it, that sounds very nice.
It also has a dark and a bright switch for each channel as well, which we didn't talk about. We left them in the middle position, which is neutral.
We did.
I guess that just kind of changes the tone stack slightly.
I tweaked the one closer to you during the gainy bit, but I thought it was related to the reverb. So that's related to the gain on the channel.
Well, I'm assuming so, because there's one this side as well.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go across to the gainy channel and I'll do a couple of little riffs and we can just test out how that sounds. That was interesting.
Yeah.
That was quite big variations in it as well.
Yeah,
so
it takes a lot of the top end off,
you can tone sculpt with it a bit. Can you whack a bit of reverb back in as well?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I'm quite taken with this thing.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it?
I quite like it, yeah.
The bright switch especially is really noticeable, like, especially when you're playing big chords, it really adds this kind of nice top end onto things.
Yeah, exactly, and I like the fact that that is variable between the two channels.
Yeah, there's one each side.
Yeah, you've got the shared EQ and you've got the shared tone knob as well, but those switches do give you a little bit of EQ options, yeah.
What we should mention as well is, I've just been thinking about this, is we referred to the pedal as having a clean channel. Now that's just because we've got it set up clean, but you can, obviously in theory, gain the other channel up as well.
Wait, are the channels identical then?
I'm not sure.
Let's try it.
Yeah, basically.
Two identical channels. Okay,
yeah.
That's good to know.
We had one set clean, so obviously that's what you can do. But obviously you could have like a crunch channel and a high gain channel or whatever.
Yeah, and presumably if you wanted to go even further than that, look at the Martin Miller designed version, and then you've got all of the options under the sun.
Yeah.
That's been a pretty darn cool
sort
of discovery
really
video for me. Now that's a pretty cool little box. Now combine that with this, with or without a cab, if you're using a cab or the IRs, and you've got a great setup. We did have a couple of alternatives for people who don't want to use this, which we found.
Yeah, so what you can do is if you're on a tighter budget and you want to bypass all this stuff altogether, which is the amp and the cab, you get something like this, which is the Line 6 Pod Express. We were going to plug this thing in, but there was a couple of cabling limitations that we ran into. But again, it's an entire rig in a box. You know what this is, you've seen the videos. It's got amps, it's got cabs, it's got effects, and it's like £200.
Yeah, exactly. So very, very affordable. Has your pedal board built in as well, has a tuner, has a looper, has basically everything. And we did just have also a secondary guitar. If you don't want 3 single coil pickups, well, there is this one, the GRG 121SP, Ibanez Geo, double humbuckers, but coil splits and all sorts as well. These are both sub 300. So
yeah. So whichever combination of this stuff you come up against, you're going to get in well under the £1,500 price ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. So hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed discovering some of the new gear with us, as we were kind of doing it pretty much live this time. Leave us a comment down there letting us know which you thought sounded best. Did you like the Laney? Did you not? Should we do more videos with it? Let us know. Just want to thank Henning Pauly and everybody else involved in 42 Gear Street for the preparations, for the planning, for the running of this event, because it's running pretty smoothly, as it always does, despite feeling pretty chaotic at first. Thanks to Krenar for switching and everybody else involved in the team, to Zoma Cables for providing cables for everything, and to Sweetwater and all the other supporters of the event. 42GS6 is the hashtag that you should use if you want to see more videos. Sub to Leigh, do all of that stuff. I'm waffling now. But I've been Rich, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.